Did you know that there are more than 3 data reporting companies that are sharing your data? Yes, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of data reporting companies out there besides the major 3, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. We're probably most familiar with those big 3 because they're the ones that generally are delivering our credit reports to banks and financial institutions and have the most control over us. Most of us don't realize is that there are other secondary data reporting furnishers just as powerful as the major 3 that we need to know about and we need to educate ourselves about. You can opt out of these companies, you can freeze these companies in many cases, and if you have issues opening up bank accounts, a lot of times that issue is held with either check systems or early warning. And not every bank out there uses check systems. There's a lot of banks out there that offer second chances like Chase, Golden One. Those are a few that are just in California. Or if you're looking to join a credit union, Navy Federal doesn't use check systems as well. They're actually an early warning system. But say you get denied because of what data is on your early warning. Well, you need to get that fixed. How do we get that fixed? We go to the root of the problem, where that data is originating from. And many times it is your consumer right on the personal side to find out how that data was acquired, where that data is established from, and how we can go about disputing it. And in fact, we have the right as consumers to dispute this same data that is with these other secondary or, sometimes primary data furnishing companies out there. We have the right. They all have to follow the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. So we have the right to dispute anything that is on our consumer report. All of these data companies are providing some sort of consumer data or consumer report for us. And these are what some of those companies look like. For example, LexisNexis. They are one of the largest databases out there, and they probably have more information about us than we even have about us. In fact, most law enforcement companies take their reporting through them, so they might have a ton of data on you. They are most important for people that have bankruptcies. Oftentimes, the bankruptcies are reported to LexisNexis from the PACER system because they scrape the PACER system, get the information from the PACER system, and then start reporting that information to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. There are other companies out there that also report bankruptcy information like LCI. LCI is another one that many people don't talk about, and LCI was recently acquired. There are many reports out there that LCI is now reporting to TransUnion instead of LexisNexis. So what we need to do is dispute the information directly with the source and get them to correct it. And we can send that letter to the credit bureaus. We can also dispute it directly with the credit bureaus. But if you have these records locked before you even start to dispute, they are not going to be able to validate that information with the source that they got it from. So that's why it's so important to dispute and challenge and continue to make them validate where they got this data, where it originated from, and to make them think that this data is completely false and outdated or inaccurate, unknown, whatever the case may be, so they will delete it from your credit reports. Even Crunchbase is saying, hey, LCI is a TransUnion company. So LCI is a bankruptcy management firm with the best and most comprehensive set of bankruptcy information. And guess what? They are owned by TransUnion. They are a TransUnion company. So understand the power that they have, and you can see here, if you just do a simple search on LCI, you can get their contact information, but they are just one of many companies out there that is reporting data on us. Unfortunately, right now, there is no way to lock LCI because they are just sneaky, but what we can do is we can lock or freeze LexisNexis. You can also request a copy of your report from LexisNexis and dispute any inaccuracies or unknown information. The next up is Innovis. Innovis 𝑪𝒓𝒆 is another one that is really important to understand. Request a copy from them, see what they have on file for you, order your report. That's the one thing that you can do, and then dispute those negative items. By the way, if you are interested in learning more information like this, make sure to join the credit community, because we talk about this and all of these type of lists are inside of the credit community. I've also put together a guide that you can purchase below for less than a cup of coffee or so and get access to all of these databases so you can opt out or freeze them. 𝑪𝒓𝒆 is most popular for payment history, account history, mortgages, and or any late payments. So if you do have negative information listed with them, you definitely want to opt out / freeze your reports so no one can get access until that information is cleared up or cleaned up, because you can certainly dispute any errors just like it says right here. Again, all of these companies have to follow the same laws as the 3 major credit bureaus. So if you do find inaccuracies, which happen all the time, you just have to dispute them and get them corrected. Next up, we have SageStream. SageStream is also owned by LexisNexis, and LexisNexis is a super powerful game player. So you always want to make sure that the information that they have on file for you is accurate, up to date, because if you do opt out or you do freeze, one of the risks that you take is not being able to verify. This happens a lot when you're applying for, say, insurance, auto insurance. You would have to unlock these so they can get the reports and the data that they need, because they house more than just consumer data. They also house a ton of other personal data like accidents, insurance information, so on and so forth. But you can request a copy of your consumer report right from SageStream. You also have the option to place a security freeze or opt in and opt out. You can file a dispute and you can request your report. Next up, we have CoreLogic, and CoreLogic is also one of those that we want to pay attention to. We want to get the information that's on our consumer report. You can call them, you can request it in writing, you can also see their information right on their website right here, and all that you would need to do is verify your identity through these acceptable forms, and you can get a copy of what they have for you on file. You can dispute anything that they have on file, but you can see here that Credco / CoreLogic is going to house the rental applications, child support, criminal records, and things of that nature. ARS, which is Advanced Resolution Services, another one. You can actually request a security freeze, but I always like to encourage everyone to request the report that they have on file. And you can see here that as of October 31st, 2024, ARS will stop providing consumer reports to third parties. So you will have to request it for yourself, and you can add a security freeze or you can remove it if you need to. The downside about putting these security freezes on is that one day you might have to unfreeze it. So make sure to keep this all in a binder and readily accessible, so that way if you did have to unfreeze it, you are able to, because it can, make you get denied for pre-approvals and other things like that. But you can see here, there's some other information that you guys can check out, but definitely want to pay attention and know who they are and what they perform. You can see here on the list here that Advanced Resolution Services, they specialize in providing information like public records, bankruptcies, inquiries, and things of that nature. And again, all of this information is inside of the credit community. We meet live every Friday so you can ask questions and get your answers, and most importantly, take action. Another one that you may have not heard of is opt-out pre-screen, and you can simply just opt out, but these are how people get credit card offers in the mail. So they are going to be using your data to see if you are pre-qualified for credit card offers. It's not the end of the world, but if you did want to opt out, you can certainly do so, and you will opt out from receiving things electronically and via mail for about a 5-year period. And again, in this post, you can really review all of the information along with how to suppress your data and how to prevent unwanted data being shared. And this is actually a list from the CFPB themselves from 2024, where they have all of these data companies listed. So that way you can get that file information that they have for you. The number one thing that you want to do is request it, review it, and then dispute it. And here are all of the nationwide consumer reporting companies, the big three that we talked about, employment screening companies, but so much data that we just have to be educated on. And again, all of this stuff is inside of the credit community. And I'll also leave a link below for you to purchase my third-party data opt-out guide, which is less than $20. So if you are interested in purchasing the third-party guide, there is a link below. There's also a link below to join the credit community. Again, guys, my name is Credit Coach Nicole Scott. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Give me a huge thumbs up and let me know below if you have found value in this video. I look forward to seeing you part of the credit community. Until next time, take action.